Are you ready?
Agility from the champion. Oh, deep six. That could be it. Delivers this deep six.
Good evening, everybody. This is episode 160. I am Double R Radar Wayne, joined by Brandon, aka Bash. We are going to jump right in right away. We had a really good Monday night Raw, and we have new tag team champions. We had a heel turn. We had a lot going on, but we're going to jump right in the main event last night on Raw, live from London. Crowns new tag team champions. We had the Street Profits challenge division. Brandon, what did you think of this tag team championship match? That was actually pretty good.
Good match. I saw this happening for the strict fact that Logan Paul isn't there anymore, and Braun obviously has other things to focus on. So Braun Breaker being caught up in the tag team division right now makes absolutely no sense. So I did sense this coming. I think the right guys got it. I love the Street Profits. I've loved them since they've come on and they started making it rain red solo cups from the sky. That was awesome. I'm upset they did away with that. And now that they won the belts, I hope they give it to them one more time. But no, like you said, good match. All four guys. We already knew that all four guys could move, but God, they made Angelo Dawkins look like a real powerhouse, which is what they're supposed to do. I think there was a line. What did Michael Cole say? Moves like a line. I think he said built like a linebacker, moves like a tight end. I'm like, I love that. That's exactly how he looks, how he should be moving. And he held his own against Braun and showed why they won. So very impressed with the Street Profits. And I'm, like I said, expected that move, especially Braun doesn't deserve to be in that tag division anyways.
Absolutely. Street Profits versus division. We'll break it down really quick. Logan Paul gets thrown out for saving Austin Theory. That's where the tide turned for the division during this match by putting Austin Theory's foot on the rope to break up the pin fall. But the ref saw it, threw Logan Paul out, but Logan Paul comes back sneaking from the timekeeper's area, which I thought was pretty funny, with brass knucks to give to Austin Theory, but then Joe Hendry's music hits out of nowhere. He's been out for a couple of weeks due to attack from the Vision, and he pops up in the apron. Logan Paul gets chased out by Joe Hendry, and then as Austin goes to Theory goes to get the knucks, then Seth Rollins' music hits. So there's a lot of chaos. Rollins hits Theory with the brass knucks. Theory's knocked out. Breaker chases Rollins out at a ringside area. And then Austin Theory is left all alone with the Street Profits. I loved how this match broke down. Yeah, we have new tag team champions. But my concern with the men's tag team division, who are they going to challenge? What are we going to get, the Vision again? Like, who is out there right now to challenge the Street Profits?
I don't know. Like, I tried to think about it. Like, honestly, I have no idea. I mean, I guess Judgment Day still.
Yeah, you got that. If JD McDonough is not suffering from being electrocuted.
No, he now. So I love that they're like finding ways to get everybody messed up, because it's like Miz goes back to 2010 references. Awesome. Then you had a little shock of Matt Cardona, and when he was asked if he was okay, he said, "You know it." And now we get a shock of JD where it seems like he has amnesia and doesn't know what's going on around him. So if we get JD having amnesia and then he starts like going around with other factions and he like pops up out of nowhere in like the Vision or whatever, like he's just in the background or something, I would start dying laughing. It's like, no, you're in the wrong facet, bro. What are you doing?
That all happened because Danhausen cursed JD, and then JD decides to electrocute himself.
Yeah, you said there's no stupid curse. Of course, there's a curse. And
Oh my
Dom was about
gosh.
to get double cursed, and he was like, "No, I'm getting out of the way of this one. I already know what happens if you get cursed."
So here's the Raw roster for the tag team. You could do Brutus and Julius Creed if you want to bring them back.
Right.
But you got to keep these guys consistent on TV. You got Judgment Day. Um, Jeez, it's really. I mean, you got Ivar. The Viking Warriors. You can do that. You got the Bloodline if they lead into that a little bit. Um, so I mean, you have a couple tag teams here. You can, throw Otis and Tozawa in there for, a little competition. Uh, no little threat. I mean, you could always bring back Sheamus and pair him up with Rusev, and do that. But the Raw roster is really, really lacking here, um, as far as the depth of the tag team division, both Raw and SmackDown.
Well, I think you just named it too right there. Of you do have now Ethan Page is going around with Rusev. You have this
Yeah.
like Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio still. You have this if Penta loses the belt soon, you can obviously run a Penta Dragon Lee, a Penta Rey Phoenix. There's a lot of different ways that they could run people together. I mean, screw it. We had AJ Dragon Lee combo, which is hysterical. And they held the belt for a couple of months. I believe that was SmackDown instead, but no, that was Raw. I'm sorry, that was on Raw. So yeah, sometimes you just get these random pairings out of nowhere, and then as long as they do well for a little bit, so I feel like we could probably see that. I know you're more of an NXT guy than me. I haven't watched in years. I don't know if there's any NXT tag teams that can come up and do something in the next 6 months and make a push. That's usually what they do when stuff isn't going right. Or, I mean, hell, it might be time to call up AEW and get some real players. It's like the Young Bucks been around forever. Obviously, they deserve a push. Even getting back the Revival, the Revival would get a big pop, no question.
That's been rumored.
They
Yeah.
would get a huge pop back in the division, even with they did nothing in WWE, but now they're doing very well in AEW. I'm not certain the name that they're under there.
FTR.
Or yes, it doesn't stand for anything,
So
but
WWE kind of WWE. I'll end the men's tag team championship talk with this. They shot themselves in the foot by releasing Tommaso Ciampa, breaking up Tommaso and Gargano.
yep.
Then they shot themselves in the foot by releasing Motor City Machine Guns. I mean, your tag team division is suffering as it is. Why not utilize these guys and have them on TV?
Right.
It just blows my mind how the tag team division has been treated all these years.
Especially when
And
Eric and Ivar have the AAA championship now. Not even luchadors out in lucha getting belts. So
And I feel like WWE has done a really good job of booking the women's tag team division. But guess what? As a result, the women's tag team division has been booked pretty strong, but then the singles titles are suffering.
yep.
Um, and so that's not. I don't want to even go there tonight. But my point is like, the tag team division is doing so well, but then but then when the singles titles are booked well, then the tag team division suffers. So it's been flip flopped. It's just that they can't seem to manage to have all these different divisions um clicking all at the same time.
hmm
But that's what I wanted to get to. But leading into, so we had the men's tag team title match. We also had the women tag team championship match. Paige and Brie Bella, the tag team champions, defending their titles against Bayley and Lyra. Pretty good match here. Paige and Brie Bella, they win. That's not the big story here. Paige pins Lyra by using her finisher, the Rampage. Great back and forth match, between these two teams. Mike, was it Joe Tessitore or was it Michael Cole? It was Michael Cole last night.
Michael,
And
yes.
Michael Cole and Corey Graves mentioned the fact that Lyra didn't look like herself or whatever, but both Bayley and Lyra were very, very frustrated. And, Bayley picks up Lyra and, basically telling Lyra, listen, you're the best. And Bayley hugs Lyra, pulls her in, and you think that maybe Bayley is going to turn here because it was the perfect setup for that. But then it's the other way around, which totally threw me for a swerve.
You didn't have
Lyra
that on your
turns on
radar?
Bayley. I did not have that on my radar.
I had that on my radar. I saw that coming very, very quickly. And I figured it was going to happen for months. So they picked a great time.
Yeah, they needed to do something there. My radar would have been Bayley being the one turning. But so Lyra turns. Lyra refuses to talk to Jackie Redmond and give a reason. So I would think we'll get that reason maybe next week. And Bayley doesn't want to talk about it either, as she was approached for an interview later on in the show. So this was a little bit of a surprise to me. I didn't really have this exactly on my bingo card last night. I wouldn't say like I feel like I'm not too shocked about it, but I'm just the way they did this was so well done because they made it look like Bayley was gonna be the one to turn, but it ended up being Lyra, and this is basically your match that's probably gonna be heading into SummerSlam. I don't think they'll do it for Saturday Night Main Event. I think they're gonna do it for SummerSlam. Lyra wins. I think Bayley gets written. I think Bayley gets written off, and depending how her contract negotiations go, we may or may not see her on TV again after SummerSlam.
Wow. I like the read. I do. Yeah, no, like I said, I saw this coming. I saw the split coming. As soon as like she was sitting down and there was that pickup and the hug, I'm like, somebody's getting slammed. I don't know who, but I thought, like you said, it was gonna be a Bayley to belly after a hug. She was in a perfect predicament. But nope, Lyra turned it around and basically Lyra went AWOL and just started going crazy. So I think that's also we've seen that a bunch of times. Like I said, WWE likes to rewrite stories and to kind of just throw two different people in there. So they did a good job kind of giving us a WWE storyline. Build and build and build, create a good tag team. Somebody turns on somebody. And like you said, next week they're going to come out and, I was a winner before I took Bayley on. I had the belt all by myself without Bayley. And then I took Bayley on to try to help her be a winner. And all we did was lose together. So I'm going to go be a winner by myself. And it starts with beating Bayley at SummerSlam. I just wrote your dang promo for next week. There you go.
There you go. Submit that to Triple H.
Yep. That's my first. I'm sending him this video. I'm sending it on Twitter, and I'm gonna say, hey, when the promo looks just like what I just said, put me in the dang writers' room for SummerSlam. I will write you an amazing match. Let's go.
Those of you guys that are watching, this is episode 160. 40 more official episodes until we get to episode 200. Whenever that may be, probably towards the end of the year, if I have to calculate right. But I am joined by Brandon, aka Bash, and we are gonna keep the show moving along. We have some good things to talk about. We're gonna talk about Chad Gable next, and a little bit of Bloodline stuff, and then King of the Ring predictions and Night of Champions. So, all right, so. Chad Gable is on the apology tour. That continues this week. And Gable apologizes to the Alpha Academy. We knew this is coming. We even brought this up last week that at some point he's going to apologize to them. Sure enough, we got it this week in London. Man, London had some chaos in this show. I'm not going to lie. And I loved every bit of it.
right cheering the basically all American. Like Chad was getting some pops out in London. I'm like, this guy basically represented America like always. So I don't know where his pop came from in London, but cool enough.
His entrance is a little cheesy with the whole clap thing, and like I don't know.
And it's
But
funny,
like
I was
just
messing with it. I was like, no, this ain't bad. And then the song was pretty good. It was, I think it's called Keep On Running. It was pretty good. I might have to go
I'm
listen to it, but
I'm
it
getting
was
like
a little cheesy.
what is it? What was his name? The guy from American Males. DMS. If you happen to be watching, just throw it in the comments of who that American male wrestler was. But he would come out and do the clap, and it was just so horrible, but it
Was it
was
Scotty Too
interactive at the
Hottie?
same time.
I think it was Scotty Too Hottie.
No, no, not Scotty Too Hottie,
No,
but
he used to do the clap, but like I
um,
guess a little different.
oh, not Scotty Too Hottie. It was Buff Bagwell's tag team partner. We're gonna tell you right now. Let me see. But they were in American Males in
Oh, I found it.
WCW.
Scotty Riggs.
Scotty Riggs,
I
very
wouldn't have got
close.
that, but I need to now. I need to look
Because it's
up
been like it's
later.
pushing 30 years since anybody's even heard his name or seen him on TV. Scotty Riggs. Yeah, he would do the clap.
Huh.
He would do the clap, and it was so dumb. It was stupid, but it was so stupid that you couldn't help but not doing it. And my buddies made fun of me because at an ECW pay per view, which I shall not name because then people are going to look it up, you see me on the stage next to the ECW entrance doing the clap. The
Do
clap
it.
was a big thing. Oh boy. So, but yeah,
Oh, this
Chad
was-
Gable, he um asks Otis, Maxine, and Tozawa to come out to the ring and join him. Like I said moments ago, he's been on an apology tour. Chad says he's sorry. He apologizes to them, and it was very heartfelt. Then Otis is about to shake Gable's hand, and then Maxine gets in the way.
Mhm.
Didn't we predict that too?
Yep. Like I
Maxine
said, we
gets in the
wrote it.
way. I think we mentioned it like about like as like a heel turn kind of
Hmm.
possibly a light heel turn.
Yep.
She gets in the way of intercepts that handshake and says she doesn't want to make up and that she isn't buying the apology. I loved her delivery. I loved her demeanor. Um, Maxine says when she achieved her dream, we didn't we realized that we didn't need you then, but we don't even need you now. Maxine says we're going to leave you like you left us alone, and um, how
Which
did
makes
you
no
feel?
sense because
How
there's
did you
three of
feel
them.
about
But
this?
there's three of them, so they weren't left alone.
Well,
They were left
leaving
without Chad
Chad
Gable.
alone, but then Chad ditched all of them, left
Right.
them alone. So that I kind of understood that part.
Three people
Um,
can't be alone.
yeah,
That's the only thing that I understand her sentiment of like, hey, you left us with no one, so now you have no one. But they had each other. So other than that, though, like you said, I feel like you brought it up, and I definitely agreed. I think we both thought this was gonna happen. Um, now we get and Otis was ready. Otis was ready to shake his hand. So I think now we get Maxine, like you said, light heel turn, maybe more of a 45-degree angle versus a full turn. But, we start to see that we've seen her now talking to Austin Theory a few times over the last couple of months. So they're definitely starting to plant that seed that we will get our first female in the vision. I hate to say that word. First woman in the vision. And then we'll get potentially Chad, Otis, and Tozawa versus Braun, Logan, and Theory in due time. Who knows if Bronson Reed comes back at that point? And then we get Bronson Reed versus Otis, which is two 330-pound guys going at each other. It'd be great. I think we might have gotten that match already.
yeah. the thing is, I think the way the story is gonna go is that Austin Theory's been in the background, influencing Maxine and talking in her ear,
Mm-hmm.
which could make perfect sense as to why she's just turning her back on Chad Gable. So I really think that this might lead to Chad Gable against Austin Theory soon, in a not so distant future.
Yeah, I can see that.
But quick note: Ethan Page defeats Dragon Lee due to an accidental low blow, or should we say accidental, quote unquote, accidental, as Ethan Page's head was under in between his legs, and he quickly lifted up his head, and basically that turned into a low blow. The referee just kept the match going, hits the Egoplex on Dragon for the win. Great match here.
Yeah, both of those guys can definitely move. Now seeing like Ethan Page, I might have said it the first time I saw him wrestle. He's a big bodied individual. Like I didn't think he was built like that. Same when you see like these Joe Hendry guys, and like you don't think that they're gonna be big, and all of a sudden they show up shirt off, muscles, and they got the gut, but like they're in shape with the gut. Like they all look good. So he can definitely move. He got that brute style. He's not flying around the ring, and when you get a guy flying around the ring versus the brute, you normally get some good matches. So they like you said, wrestled a very good match, and all ego is going to find these ways to win. So I don't think we've seen that, like you said, back like head to the nut shot. It's a great idea. So
Yeah, it was a very, very sly move. So
mhm.
I like the work that Ethan Page is doing. So gotta continue to keep an eye on that. Moving on, we had Jimmy Uso versus LA Knight. And how we got here was both of them tempers were rising backstage in a backstage segment with Adam Pearce. LA Knight bickering at Adam Pearce about the bloodline. Jimmy Uso comes up to the both of them backstage, and then LA Knight wants a match. Adam Pearce made the match first, and then LA Knight's like, no, I'm gonna make the match.
That
So
was funny.
yeah, so that was pretty cool. So we get Jimmy Uso versus LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Solo comes out. He appears, and we have some more bloodline integration into the show, little story progression. Because as you know, Jacob Fatu has been visiting SmackDown and requesting the service of Solo Sikoa to join the bloodline. And Solo Sikoa last week or the week before is like, if you want me to come over, Roman Reigns is gonna come and get me. And so that's been going on for a couple weeks on SmackDown. So Solo Sikoa finally shows up, distracts LA Knight, and then Solo Sikoa gets on the ring apron, gives the Samoan spike to Jimmy, his own brother, and LA Knight wins with the blood force trauma on Jimmy Uso. LA Knight gets the win. He's confused as to what's going on. Good back and forth match here between these two. It wasn't like a 5 out of 5 on the Dave Meltzer scale of wrestling matches, but it was a good, it was entertaining. It was fine. It served its purpose, and it served the purpose of storyline progression with the bloodline. But good back and forth match. Solo, by doing this, is basically delivering a message to the bloodline for the most part. Not as much helping out LA Knight, but delivering a message to the bloodline family.
Yeah. MTF forever. No acknowledging Roman, which we already saw Solo acknowledge Roman a few times, and we obviously saw the backlash from that. And, now it's time for Solo to run SmackDown and obviously Roman to run Raw. There's a lot of R's there. But yeah, no, like you said, a decent match with two unks in the business. I like the unks. It's not, like you said, nothing to really write home about, but progressed a lot of different stories. We now have, like you said, what's going to happen with Solo, what's going to happen with LA Knight. Now Jimmy's going to be upset, so we might see Jimmy on SmackDown. We might see Jimmy and Jay on SmackDown. There's a lot of things that can happen in the next 2 days, or 2 days of wrestling, I should say, between SmackDown and then Night of Champions on Saturday, right? Saturday afternoon.
More like Day of Champions.
Day of Champions, and
What?
more like no champions at all, because there isn't, I think, a single championship match.
No, there is.
Which one am I
Oh,
forgetting?
we'll run it down. There's about at least 2, maybe 3.
But there's like every major championship I don't think is on the line for this weekend.
No, not all of them. Not all of them.
You're gonna call it Night of Champions and have almost no champions wrestling. All right, cool.
It doesn't make sense. We'll call it noon of champions.
Noon of Champions. I love that. That's fantastic. It might be morning of, if you're in the West Coast, it's morning of champions.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's true.
That's, oh my god, that's me with the UFC and everything, except we're 3 hours ahead, so I'm trying to watch stuff that's, it's on at 1 a.m. here. I'm dying. I'm trying to stay awake. It's only 10 p.m. there. They're fine.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
So let's start talking about the king and queen of the ring builds for the finals that will be taking place this weekend at Night of Champions. So we had Oba Femi come out, and he basically says like he was born into destiny, been backed by destiny. It's destiny that's enabled him to slay the beast. It's destiny that's gotten him this far in the King of the Ring tournaments, and destiny that will help him become the King of the Ring. He then says he has the opportunity to challenge Cody or Roman Reigns. So no exact hints there yet. But Jey Uso interrupts, and you see Jey says he's always been counted out, that he's going to win. He's not going to be counted out this week. He's going to win. He tells Oba that he's going to take on Cody, and that this is your warning shot. But then Oba came back with a really good line. He's like, if you shoot, you better not miss. And if you do, I'll destroy you. If you don't miss, I'll still destroy you anyway. So take your stupid bullets and give them to your cousin, courtesy of Oba Femi. What did you think of this promo?
Yeah, that was great. Jay sounded winded during the entire thing. So the fact he's getting tired from yeeting and promos, like, dude might want to get on the stairmaster and treadmill and get those lungs working a little bit. Maybe I don't know. I know they like to drink, the Usos. I don't know about smoking, but maybe they gotta stop both and get the lungs in order. But yeah, Jay sounded fired up in there. Oba sounded fired up. It should be a good match. And that's where I was saying, I think I was on mute. No, there were definitely hints, because if you heard the London crowd, they were hooting and hollering for Roman versus Oba, and everybody wanted that. Then the OTC chant started, then the Oba and the OTC chant started at the same time, and then Jay came out right after all that. So yeah, I could definitely see the writing on the wall that if Oba does win this weekend, he is 99.9% taking on Roman.
My only concern is, we'll hit this up more in the predictions, but my only concern is you have Brock Lesnar that is still living rent free in Oba's mind, as Oba wants to get that rubber match to get him back for the way that Brock Lesnar stole a win from Oba Femi at Clash of Italy, and then the week prior sneak attacking him on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So Oba wants to settle that. But so that's the only thing that's kind of like sort of interfering in my fantasy booking of having Roman Reigns versus Oba Femi, because Oba Femi is on a quick rise for sure. Like, I don't know if you want to stretch this thing out. I say you put the title on him now. Let's just hit a soft reset button. Let's just freshen up the product and strike while the pan is hot. But again, uh, we'll get more into it in a minute, but there's a lot of things going on there. So it really all depends on when they want to do this match between Roman and Oba. Roman Reigns, they're cooking with the Bloodline storyline, and Roman is champion. Like, do you want to interfere with that right now and take the belt off Roman? So there's a lot of things to consider here. So, but then on the female side, we have the Liv Morgan versus EO promo. And later, we see EO. She says she's going to be queen. And Liv Morgan interrupts and says she's the greatest champion of all time. Anyway, and Liv Morgan says, "You're not beating me on Saturday because I am so much better than you, more talented than you, and I'm the face of the division. And all she's missing is her crown." And she says she will only, she says she'll only win, but and then she's gonna go on to embarrass Rhea Ripley and take her title again. So something dawned on me, and I'm gonna bring it up in the predictions. So remind me. But as EO is getting in Liv Morgan's face and yelling in Japanese, Liv Morgan gives the cheap shot to EO. And then EO takes out Liv Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
So, Judgment Day is in disarray. Later on, we see, as we mentioned it before, we see JD McDonough electrocuted in Danhausen's lab. Liv Morgan had just gotten taken out by EO at this point. Dominic is complaining about money stolen. Liv gives a plan for everybody except for Roxanne. Roxanne's like, "What about me?" And then quickly draws her attention to let's get JD to the hospital. So totally ignores Roxanne.
Week
This
2,
is the second time this is happening. Yep. So Liv Morgan once again dodges Roxanne. I have a feeling we're in a slow burn.
I'll tell you
storyline on that.
Wait. I will. Not a fact, not on my radar. We don't have anything for me yet, but I will tell you exactly what is about to happen. Let me just see when it is going to be. Saturday, October 10th. Shit, that's a little too far away. Okay. My initial thoughts are Roxanne Perez would win Money in the Bank and take it from Liv 3 or 4 months after holding it, and Liv is just going insane. But that is a very, very slow burn. Like, I saw this ending more like mid-August to like leading up to something in September, but they might be able to push this off about it's 3.5 months. Dang it. It's a long time.
I think they can, but by the time you get to SummerSlam is only a few weeks away. If you really think about it.
Yeah, it's 5 weeks, yeah. 5 weeks Saturday.
Something like that. Is it? I think SummerSlam is the first weekend of August, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think what would it be? July 4th? It should be like August 2nd, 3rd or something like that.
Yeah. So October is not going to be that far off from there, So, but anyhow,
no, and then you need the matches. You need the matches to set up like who's going to be in Money in the Bank, so that's going to be an extra month or so of matches.
Yeah, that'll be like September long. for
Right,
sure.
right. Let's
Yeah,
see. What day is August? Sorry, 1st and 2nd.
yeah. Okay, so I sort of figured it was kind of early,
Yeah.
but
There's something going on the week after, potentially, like the 8th or the 9th. I think there's something going on that weekend, so they probably booked it in advance early.
so we talk about those promos to say this. Stay with us. Night of Champions predictions. Let's
Yes.
go. Let's go. Okay. Let's
Do you
see
have a
where we
picture of
want to
everything? I was gonna say, do you got a
start.
you got a picture loaded up of all the matches?
No, I don't. But it is possible that I could do something like that if we happen to do an all out prediction show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just for the sake of getting an extra show out this week, but I don't know, but we'll have to see. So, um, Night of Champions is this Saturday, 1 o'clock on the East Coast, 8 o'clock Saudi Arabia time. Um, all right, let's start here. Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. Tiffany Stratton lost her title to Jade Cargill in December, I believe it was, at Saturday night's main event. Um, she got squashed, which was ridiculous. Lost her title. Tiffany faces Jade Cargill again months later and doesn't quite get squashed, but loses again. Tiffany Stratton being the U.S. title holder. I think this time Tiffany finally gets the win with the help of Chelsea Green. Because Chelsea Green's continuously been offering to help Tiffany Stratton. I think uh, Jade Cargill and her baddies, the baddies interfere. Chelsea Green takes out one, if not both of them. And then off of that distraction, Tiffany Stratton wins, and Jade Cargill is somewhat protected um by losing because of the distraction going on in the outside of the ring.
Mm-hmm. That was my initial thought too.
You gotta have Tiffany win. You cannot have Tiffany Stratton lose a third time in a row. And I know probably part of the reason why Tiffany Stratton's not champion right now is because I think it was on Chris Van Vliet's show that she had said that by the time she's 30, she wants to be out of wrestling and making movies,
Oh wow.
which is something that she should have not said because then knowing that WWE is going to have this in the back of their head, why they're going to invest in a big push for Tiffany if she wants to leave.
And the thing is if that's the case, you want to build a superstar, so either you force her to stay or you have the John Cena effect where if she can actually put on good movies or good TV shows, whatever the case is, then people will watch her and watch WWE. So I think it's smart if they give her a real push for over the next 5 years. And then if she wants to leave, go for it. But now you're a huge superstar.
Yeah. Then we got Cody Rhodes versus Gunther versus Sami Zayn. As you know, Sami Zayn was a heavy interference in this match, counting down Gunther's shoulders to the mat. Cody getting the win with a quick pin, a quick 3 count, and Gunther was pissed. Sami Zayn was pissed. And while they were in Gorilla last Friday night, Cody got back to the ring and called out Gunther to come back to the ring. Let's get a real ref. The match gets restarted, and then Sami Zayn takes out both Gunther and Cody Rhodes. So that basically sets up, which is pretty messed up. I'm like, you're gonna get rewarded a championship match for beating on two guys, like taking them out with a belt. So it's just booking that doesn't make sense. He didn't earn it. He hasn't won matches, Anyhow, I digress. Cody Rhodes versus Gunther versus Sami Zayn. Is it possible that they can call an audible and do something on this pay-per-view that nobody's going to see coming, and then quite possibly maybe they do have Sami Zayn win at SummerSlam? I'm sorry, win at Night of Champions.
I don't see it changing. I don't. I remember all the times that Cody's been at Riyadh. I mean, they love him there. So I think that you want Cody to win there. Sammy's also very loved there too. So I could see them putting it on him because he has his whole background and everything, and he shows a lot of love to that area. So honestly, I think that they kind of did it so that Sammy has a match. Like that was my main thought of, like you said, he doesn't deserve it, but you don't have too many, I don't think any Saudi or even Middle Eastern wrestlers anymore ever since Ali left years ago. So now the closest thing you got is Sami Zayn. You got to put him in a match. And I feel like he's been in a match or at least a big spot every single year that they've been there. So I think it's a little bit of a cash grab, a little bit of like poppable moments, I'll call it. But I still think Cody retains. Maybe somebody else gets involved in this match too. Ooh, I think we get a Kevin Owens return because I think Kevin Owens was expected to return.
Yes, I'm not too sure how you weave him in, but I have heard rumors that Kevin Owens is going to be back very soon.
I would love to see it because, I mean, obviously.
I think it was going to be Raw.
Yeah, it would suck.
I don't think it was Night of Champions. I think it was going to be Raw. It just doesn't really. I don't know if it makes sense. I can't really make sense of Kevin Owens being there, not a Champions. So when you rebuild into a new pay-per-view, I think that would probably be a good opportunity. So I think that Raw would be probably it. But and you can't forget during SmackDown, Gunther, Jey Uso was confronting, Cody, saying, I'm gonna be, challenging you. Cody goes away, and then Sami Zayn steps right up. Is like, what? Why are you overlooking? Why are you overlooking me? It could be me that you face at SummerSlam. So, Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso. It's possible. I don't see it because then if that happens, then what do you do with Cody at that point? And what do you do with Gunther as well? But yeah, that would be really interesting to see if they pulled the trigger on a title change here. Although I'm not quite expecting it. So, Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins in the steel cage match. I think Braun Breaker's got to go over here. Or you could also do Seth Rollins gets the win and just to be done with the division and move on. Because steel cages, as we know, are meant to end feuds. So, who do you think should get the win here?
I think you got to give it to Seth. Now that the division just lost the belts, like I think the smarter move is do everything for Seth. Make him.
Street Profits are still gonna break up in like 4 months.
That is my roommate who is also a big wrestling fan. So it sounds like he wants the Vision to at least get the belts back after the Street Profits break up.
Vision can get the belts back, but like Montez Ford needs to lose Angelo Dawkins and go on a singles run.
I like it. The ambient boys in the back.
I agree. You think that would have been done already, but apparently not. And maybe they're saving that for maybe WrestleMania season.
But yeah, I guess we'll see on that one. I think Seth is probably the move, and then just kind of let the Vision go in their own direction, like you said. It's meant to stop feuds, so let Seth get his one up.
Such bad luck.
Seth could be the move. He gets the win and that momentum to maybe face Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. After the King of the Ring winner decides on whom he's gonna face, which would make sense for them, for that person to choose Cody. So you could go that route. Trick Williams is defending his U.S. title against number one contender Ricky Saints. Singles match for WWE Championship. I don't see Trick Williams losing the belt this soon. I do expect a very good match. Who do you got here?
Tricky versus Ricky. I like Trick. I think dude's still over. I like that they're trying to give Ricky Saints a little bit of push and momentum early. Like you said, I think he'll put on a good match. But yeah, I think it's still Trick. Why is everybody showing up? We got Chandler.
Trick just got married, by the way.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, this past weekend. So he's honeymooning up on his way to Saudi Arabia.
Congrats to him. I guess probably
Yeah.
right after Saudi Arabia, he'll stay out there, enjoy. We won't see him.
Yeah. So here we go. We have Io Sky versus Liv Morgan. And remind you, just a reminder, I had a little bit of a bold prediction here. And then we have the King of the Ring match, Jey Uso versus Femi. But first, we'll do Io Sky versus Liv Morgan. Here's my prediction. You ready for this?
Go for it.
My prediction is that nobody's talking about it. So whoever's watching this show right now, I'm talking to you. I have Stephanie Vaquer returning, costing Liv Morgan the match, and Io Sky advances to challenge Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam for the WWE Championship. And I have Stephanie Vaquer getting a return match against Liv Morgan at SummerSlam. Liv Morgan has not defended the title at all yet since her win at WrestleMania 2 months ago, which is ridiculous. Like, what are they waiting for? They're waiting for Stephanie to come back? I don't know. But anyway, I have Stephanie Vaquer coming back, costing Liv Morgan the match, setting up a match between Liv Morgan and Stephanie at SummerSlam while Io Sky challenges Rhea Ripley. What do you think of that?
I love the prediction.
Nobody's talking about it.
Nobody is talking about it. And then it also gives Io versus Liv 3.0, which is great because, I mean, they've versed each other 100 times. But I think for the belt, I want to say it's a rubber match 1-1. Because Io had the belt, Liv took it off of her.
So
right, or no. Yeah, Liv took the belt off of Io.
Yeah.
If Io wins, it would be 1-1, and Io would be the
Liv took the belt off of Stephanie Vaquer.
Right. So did Liv ever did Liv? I think I know Liv beat Io. I just don't know if it was for a belt or if it was like the belt was on the line or something. Like, I know that they versed, and I want to say Liv won. Mm-hmm. So I think that it should be 1-0 Liv. If Io wins, it's 1-1, and then we get the rubber match at SummerSlam, which would make perfect sense.
Io versus Liv?
Yeah.
Okay, so then if they go down that route, then who faces Rhea Ripley?
Probably whoever wins Tiffany versus Jade tonight. Or on what am I talking about tonight? On Saturday.
The loser of Tiffany versus Jade challenges Rhea.
No, would that be the winner or would that be the loser now?
Well, Tiffany is the champion already versus Jade Cargill, so Tiffany wins. She'd be holding on to her belt, and Jade Cargill will just do whatever.
So then what's Rhea have?
Rhea's not really feuding with anybody in particular. She's actually been on TV for a little bit. Rumor has it that she hurt her knee, so.
Oh. Then
she's not really rumored. Like, she was feuding with Jade Cargill and the baddies Me Chin and B-Fab, helping out Alexa Bliss and Charlotte, but not really like a one-on-one feud. That kind of simmered down a little bit. So, like, there's really nothing lined up for Rhea right now, and I feel like if Io chooses Rhea, it would be for, like it would be a fan favorite match, and Io's never beaten Rhea, so no, I'm sorry, Rhea Ripley never beaten Io, and Io may want that title. So it would be like a feud based on mutual respect, and I think Rhea would finally get the win. I just don't know, like they really don't have anybody lined up from what I'm seeing, because now Jade Cargill's tied in feud with Tiffany Stratton, and I think that may have been because Rhea's out, so we don't know how long she'll be. But yeah. So you got Io winning and quite possibly challenging Liv Morgan for the title.
Right. And I would say whoever wins between Jade and Tiffany, they can go be a double belt holder or something. Like that's like you said, there's nobody else in solo contention right now. Like you know, like you said, the tag division doing very well over there, but unless you start doing what they used to do in the past and let tag team members go off and do solo things while still being in the tag team, then you're not going to see Nia Jax again. You're not going to see a Lash Legend get a solo push. Both deserving of one. It's just they're both still together in a tag team. And I don't think either of them are going to turn on each other because they're both heels. It's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
I am really, really, really counting on the fact that Stephanie costs Liv Morgan here for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, could they go a different direction where Liv Morgan wins King of the Ring and then challenges Rhea Ripley so Liv Morgan can try to be a double champion? I don't know why she wants to be a double champion. She can't even challenge defend her single championship. So, can they go Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley SummerSlam? Yeah, okay, I guess. But I really think Stephanie Vaquer comes back here, costs Liv Morgan to set up that one match, and then Io Sky versus Rhea. I feel like it's the less convoluted and easy setup to do. But moving on, Jey Uso versus Oba Femi for the King of the Ring final. Who do you got here and why?
I freaking love Oba. I hope that they give it to him. I think Oba versus Roman, even if he loses, that's going to be one hell of a match. It's not going to completely crush Oba with a loss. But then, like you said, you're not going to do 2 run-ins for both of your king and queen of the ring. You're not going to do it. I like your Stephanie Vaquer. I wasn't even thinking that way. But you're not going to have Stephanie come out and then the men's match have Brock come out. So that's insane. You're not
it's not even definite that like Brock Lesnar that's kind of just been thrown out there in thin air because it would make sense for Brock Lesnar to do that. But is Brock Lesnar gonna really come all the way out to Saudi Arabia just to do that? I mean, I guess you could say the same for Stephanie, but Brock is more of a prima donna. He likes to call his own shots. Is he really gonna want to go to Saudi Arabia for a 1-minute camera appearance and interfering and costing Oba Femi the match and Jey Uso King of the Ring winner, and then Jey Uso challenges Cody? Do we really want Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes in SummerSlam main event?
Yeah, that's why I think we get Oba versus Roman. I think that is.
Or they could just do Oba versus Cody.
Yeah, that's fine too.
Yeah, you know what? Keep Oba away from Roman Reigns for now. They can do that. There's a lot of possibilities they can do here.
Anybody that wins this weekend, it can change in an instant. It could easily be Gunther versus Jay again.
And it's not even a guarantee Oba. Okay, so Oba Femi's been calling out Brock for weeks, so it's almost inevitable we're getting Oba versus Brock Lesnar 3. Okay. Now, keep in mind, a lot of people are forgetting we still have Saturday night's main event. If Brock Lesnar somehow attacks Obafemi at Night of Champions. Maybe after Obafemi wins clean and defeats Jey Uso. You don't have to convolute it and have Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar SummerSlam Night 1 and Obafemi versus the champion Night 2. You don't have to do that. You got Saturday night's main event, Madison Square Garden. You need a big match. Just do Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar, Saturday night's main event, Madison Square Garden, end it, and then that would be the builds and another layer to heat up Obafemi going into SummerSlam, as Obafemi would challenge Roman or Cody. I think you do Cody here. I think you do Cody because I think the feud with Gunther and Sammy that's going to end at Night of Champions. You'll have your King of the Ring winner. You'll do Oba versus Cody, and then Seth Rollins. They've been planting seeds with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns a couple times, where Seth Rollins has been bumping into Roman Reigns and whatever. There's been a seed planted there, so I think we get Seth versus Roman. I think we get Oba winning Jey Uso. Again, just because it's Minnesota doesn't mean you have to book Brock Lesnar. You can do that at Madison Square Garden, which is an even bigger platform, arena. So you can do that and that feud on the way to SummerSlam, and then just give Oba the belt at SummerSlam. Give him the WWE title. I don't think he really needs to wait till WrestleMania 43 to finally give Obafemi a title.
Yeah, true. There's a lot that he can do. That's the cool thing about having all these multiple layers and multiple different factions involved and different people all around. You can do so much with winners, losers, attacks. Like, there's so many things that you can build off of. So I hope that it's tough for them to do the wrong thing here, other than, like you said, build towards like Cody versus like Jay. That'd be kind of the only bad thing.
And it's very possible that Jey Uso gets the win here, and we do see an interference by Brock. But there's also other things that they could do too as well. It's not a foregone conclusion that that's going to happen. You can have your Obafemi and Brock at SummerSlam if you want, and that's if they choose to drag it out till WrestleMania,
right?
Or if they want to hot shot Oba now, which I would, but. So that's the Night of Champion predictions. We're going to start bringing this show to landing here. What's your overall thoughts on Raw and the London crowd? Because I thought Raw was very good. I thought it was a good show. They left us things to talk about. They started building to SummerSlam. They left us with some surprises, tag title change, and Lyra turning on Bayley, which was, a pretty significant turn of events there. London crowd was good at times, very hot for Obafemi. But then there were times, like, especially during the LA Knight and Jimmy Uso match, like, that crowd was dead. Yeah. That was not London expectations right there. What did you think of Raw and the London crowd?
I think that there's something to be said about the guys that have absolutely no draw. And I've been saying it for years that it makes no sense to me that you are paying these guys that are bare minimum wrestlers, bare minimum on the mic, doing nothing, and how many people you've been cutting that are either better. I understand it's money, it's politics, it's a business, it's this, that, I get that. But, these guys come out and they get zero pop, zero reaction. You don't know whether to root for them or cheer for them. And like you said, it's killing the show. You have 10 minutes of like these two guys wrestling, but there's no reactions, there's nothing huge. I feel like that might happen to Ethan Page pretty soon. I feel like after about a year or so, he'd be another one where people are just, you're going to want to boo him, fine, but you're going to get bored of booing him. You're not going to want to cheer for him. And, unless he completely proves me wrong and turns into the Miz and a guy who's been just booed for 20 years. But, other than that, I don't know what they're doing for a lot of these guys. And I feel like that we saw that a little bit last night where the crowd just has no clue how to react to you, so they just stay silent. And that's not what you want. You want to be booed or you want to be cheered. One of the two. Doesn't matter in wrestling because you're going to get paid regardless, but you need a reaction. You got to do something for the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, like, LA Knight, he got a pop with his ring entrance and everything like that, but, like, during the match, it was just, like, crickets out there. I'm like, this sounds like a U.S. crowd. We're in London.
Mm-hmm.
It's not supposed to sound like a U.S. crowd.
I think they could have accomplished that with, like, I won't even say higher quality matches. I'll just say, like, more pop-worthy matches. Like, we didn't get a Javon Evans. We didn't get Penta. We didn't get Dragon Lee. We didn't even get a Chad Gable match. We just got him talking. Like, we didn't get these guys that, like, move and fly around the ring and show, like, expert levels of wrestling or lucha. We didn't get any of that. We got a few nice, women's matches. Obviously, the men's tag match. Montez Ford moves amazingly in the ring. We know this. Braun is fast. We know this.
Got the heel turn.
Right, we got the heel turn. Everything that's going to get a pop. But, it's not these things where it's constant action like in New Japan where they don't stop unless both guys are knocked out. They're always moving. It's not like AEW where every other match, some guy's flying off a 15-foot ladder and bleeding from head to toe. Like, you're not getting that in WWE. So I feel like that's where I can't blame London too much. Obviously, they're the ones that are there. I can't blame London that much. I'd more have to blame not having these pop-worthy moments for people to react to. It's that,
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. You gotta have these high flyers and movers for every.
I mean, the London crowd was up when they needed to be, but they were
Absolutely.
when they were down, you noticed it.
Oh yeah,
You absolutely noticed it.
Like I said, Ethan Page isn't the guy that's gonna get you standing up and out of your seat and cheering and, oh my God, that was an insane move. You're not gonna get that from guys like him. If you want a crowd to pop like France, London, like anything, you need that type of, fast pace movement or 200-300-pound guys crashing into each other and almost breaking the ring. That's how you get the people going.
Yeah. To those of you guys that are watching, this is episode 160, and we're putting this episode now to rest. This was our coverage for basically this past weekend, including Raw and our prediction show. If you missed our Night of Champions predictions, you can go back about 15 minutes and check that out. But we will be back. I am not certain of what time we'll be back next weekend, but we will do a Night of Champions post show over the weekend at some point. And we will be back for Raw and hopefully AEW. I need to catch up on my AEW stuff, but hopefully we'll be back for AEW post show. Hopefully we bring that back next week. We have some new content being rolled out tomorrow. We will be doing a Wrestle recap covering Undertaker versus Undertaker from SummerSlam 94. So be on the lookout for that short. Potentially a top 5 Friday. We have the post show of a Night of Champions this weekend. A Raw post show. We're going to be fairly active the next few days. So stay tuned, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to help us out. And those of you guys that are watching, we have a special appearance.
Yes, he was here before he came back. I thought you were going to say bye, so I was going to have him wave, but keep going.
Those of you guys that are watching, thank you so much. And be sure to check us out throughout the week. Hit that subscribe button, and we will catch you guys soon.
Agility from the champion. Deep six. That could be a delivered. This deep six.